Kia ora. Pride, well, I stand here proud to be a survivor of breast cancer. My first poem, Matariki, makes mention of it. Matariki is a time of beginnings. Matariki. My wedding ring is my genesis. It navigates me. I dreamed it once, a star-studded fantasy, based the design on Matariki. Such a lyrical ideal, angst of the seven sisters in competition with puanga, the crab, cancer, Matariki, death to life, life to death, taniwha of fate, the darkest moment of my life that gave way to a constellation of luminescence. It's always darkest before the dawn, the night of nothing, the night of longing, searching, believing, being. Into the world of light I am cast. My ring, it navigates me. I've got 4 poems. They're dedicated to my mother. They're about dealing with death, which is death and life, which is Matariki. My pride, my mother. Silence. I whispered words, things I had to say. So close, the memory of your ear still indents my left cheek. Thoughts, too late to bring emotional comfort, were lost in blackness. You woke. Your cherished hand reached up when we shared that final moment to be remembered. I weep. I looked in shock. Such design, splendor in your goodbye. You looked at peace, laid out to be dressed in green, contrasting with those purple handles which carried you, the coffin, finally closed. I ponder on what you thought, what I knew was to come, but we never spoke, in fear of fate. Hikurangi. Memory abandons to dream of dance in purple mist. Hands manifest, soft wings motioning their own extraordinary freedom. Wind, Smith's song, freeing sorrow, such solitude, content as my reward. Farewell. We travelled in the comfort of the night, our journey told in stories, making sense of our loss. Your presence moved through whispered memories as we touched those secret places. We landed in silence. Stillness, the cold of night, caressing the beat of our hearts. Suddenly, the quietness pierced by the shooting of stars, a dance, exuberance, as we carry you to Tairāwhiti. Thank you.
I'd just like to read you one poem tonight. It's about my pride, and you can decide whether it's a good pride or a bad pride. I have shed 41 kilos. 6 kilos of motherhood, babies 1, 2, and 3. 14 years and counting of snotty noses and taxi driving, cringing at school productions. Another 5 kilos of single parenting, twisties and chocolate make for great company of an evening. 4 kilos of a whānau history of sexual abuse, not mine but those around me, I cultivated a layer or two of sympathetic hinu. At least 10 kilos of my best friend, who married me, broke my heart, and then died, leaving me with a baby. Inconsiderate jerk. 8 kilos of a koretaki second husband, yes, second husband, and all his ngapuhi lies and control. I'm sorry if there's any ngapuhi in the house. 7 kilos of poritanga, depression, darkness, kore. Who knew the absence of something could weigh so much? And maybe one last kilo, that stubborn last kilo, of being brown on the inside, but not on the outside, for not being raised speaking my reo, for not knowing more. I have shed 41 kilos by surgeon's knife, Zumba, 792 protein shakes, give or take, a damn good therapist. And did I mention Zumba? Shaking your booty is good for the soul. I have shed 41 kilos, peeling back the layers, shedding the hinu, the mangere, the self-pity, the I can't go in that shop, their clothes are too small for me, the tying my shoes makes me all red in the face and sweaty, the I might rip someone's head off if I don't get some KFC, the oh my gosh, I ate too much, now I just need something sweet. I have shed 41 kilos of what never made me me.
I had a longer story tonight, but I'm just going to stick with a couple of little short things that I wrote. And this is a tribute to, I lived in Jerusalem up the Wanganui River. And it's a tribute to the families there that nurtured us through those years. And they're just 3 little stories. This one here is called Tuwhare. He stands on the little field below the church, head proudly raised, hands on hips, eyes fixed on the steeple that points at Rangi, Skyfather. At the top of his voice, directed to the congregation, who probably couldn't hear him from inside the freshly painted church, he yells, "Hey, you fellas, you must be pretty bloody holy by now. You've been in there long enough." Loud enough for all the pa to hear. His eyes twinkle and he turns to look at us. Those buggers bloody should be careful they don't stay in that church too long. They'll get too bloody holy. His calf-length leather boots with shiny buckles about turn and stride across the grass towards the dining room kitchen, head held high, laughing this fine, sunny Sunday morning in Hiruharama, paradise on planet Earth. "Cup of tea, eh?" he chuckles, looking mighty pleased with himself, having delivered his Sunday morning sermon to us heathens. We follow him to the kitchen where smoke twirls up out of the corrugated iron chimney to the wharekai. Friends sit in the sun's warmth with shared tobacco and a softly strummed guitar. The sound of a hymn drifts down the grassy slope and rests gently on our backs. I just wanted to say that I'm really proud of my mum and dad, and I hope this doesn't sound condescending, but I'm really proud of a lot of Pākehā people in this country too. just in case any Pākehā people were feeling a bit left out tonight. But I mean that. I've got one more story. Toro. He is the marae chairman, farmer, koro, and overseer for the restoration of Whiri Taunoko. He stands, head raised, arms folded across his chest, surveying the new paintwork on the Ora Nui ridgepole. Kuji, young Japanese resident, small in stature, truth seeker, castaneda reader and traveller, stands beside Toro, head also raised, proudly surveying his work. The marae chairman's eyes roll down over the brightly coloured rings of the ridgepole, green, yellow, red, blue, black, orange, like a bright Himalayan prayer flag. There's a pause. I sit on the Ora Nui roof above them, resting and watching, waiting for his reaction. It looks bloody flash. Not your traditional colours. Will he approve? He coughs and moves his weight from one leg to the other. I hope he likes it. Others helping with the mahi stop and wait. A loud, long silence. Time shrugs still. And across the river, the old ones watch too. The cicadas stop rasping. The sky presses onto the river valley, waiting for an answer. Ka pai, he grins loudly. There's a loosening of stomach muscles and everyone's breathing easy again. Cicada gossip resumes. And from the dining room, Australian Janie's voice, "Come and get a kai, you fellas." Smiling, I look down on the urupa that lies beside the Ora Nui. The river flows lazily to the right angle bend. It's been listening too. Kia ora.